All right, everybody, welcome back to the stream. Really excited to get back into this. Queen Ilmatar is consolidating her power. Now, let's take a quick look at the map here just to get an idea of where we're at. Now, Finland is pretty large and in charge here. West Francia, Umayyad, the Byzantine Empire, the big powers, and of course we can't forget about Gaivash. So Gaivash is pretty much controlling most of Scandinavia, except for Finland and some of the Baltic areas around the Gulf of the eastern Gulf of Bothnia. Now we have control of what later becomes Belarusia or Belarus and northern Poland. We do have the crown of the Kingdom of Lithuania. We took that from our uncle, and he wasn't doing so well, and this area was getting taken, kind of cut into pieces left and right. Obviously, Pomerania was able to get some of that back. Mazovia and Kuyavia were able to take bits and pieces out of the Duchy of Prussia, and we didn't like that, so we decided, hey, you know, let's just stop this before all of this goes to crap and it gets taken by other people. So we decided to take that back from him. Now we do have the two titles of the Crown of Finland and the Crown of Lithuania. Now, right now we have one heir, our former heir, Lovisa Virtanen Kalevat. Now, this was not intentional. She was killed in battle. I disinherited her. Did not intend for her to get killed in battle. Well, so it all kind of worked out if you want to look at it that way. So Johannes Virtanen Kalevat is now going to be the new heir. He has 4 children right now, all of the House Virtanen Kalevat, same dynasty. I liked his traits a lot better than Lovisa, his twin sister. She is going to be really good at, he has strengths in both stewardship and diplomacy, which are going to be really important going forward, especially if our kingdom is going to get bigger. Now, he has claims on the Kingdom of Lithuania and Finland right now. We don't have primogeniture because that is a late medieval innovation, and we're not going to get to that for quite a while. So we have to find some way of keeping it all in the family, and that means disinheriting, or, you know, the more nefarious versions of murdering people, sending them into battle to lose on purpose. So now the thing is we have to consolidate our power here. West Francia and Gaivash are surrounding us. We're on pretty good terms with Gaivash. Gaivash is one of those kingdoms where they're pretty non-expansionist. All of this used to be Estonia's territory, the Kingdom of Estonia, which does not exist anymore. So if we do a quick update, the Kingdom of Estonia is no longer here as an independent territory. The Kingdom of Sweden has been completely disbanded, and England is now gone as well. It's the Danelaw, which controlled most of the British Isles, but then West Francia started edging in there. Same thing with Denmark. Denmark is no longer a kingdom. So for us, it really becomes an issue of opportunity because we can create all these kingdoms. We can create the Kingdom of Denmark, we can create the Kingdom of Sweden, we can create the Kingdom of Norway, and then eventually the Empire of Scandinavia. So if we want to take a look at that right now, we control a fair amount of the land of the Kingdom of Scandinavia. Now, I don't know exactly, let's take a look here. If we wanted to create the Empire, we have to control 102 of the de jure counties. We have 38. So in terms of the Kingdom of Estonia is the kingdom title now. The current holder is King Gaivash. We could theoretically pretty easily usurp that. We just need to take a few more of these territories here in Estonia, but then we'd have to go to war with Gaivash. We have also been getting some of our claims to we're encouraging some of these areas to then just devolve into being part of the Kingdom of Finland. For example, we now have the Duchy of Estonia and the Duchy of Visby, which were not. Duchy of Estonia, obviously part of the Crown of the Kingdom of Estonia, and the Duchy of Visby was again part of the Crown of Sweden. But the Crown of Sweden is gone, and this area right here, Uppsala, we're encouraging it to move towards our realm. So what that means is that these are now de jure part of our realm. I don't know what that means for Estonia. Estonia, in terms of the Duchy of Estonia, now it's de jure part of the Kingdom of Finland, not the Kingdom of Estonia. So I don't know what happens because we do have the kind of crown land that actually belongs to the Kingdom of Estonia that no longer exists within Estonia proper. So that's going to be interesting. If we take a look at the Kingdom of Estonia that belongs to the Gaivash Kingdom, he actually has, let's see, the Gaivash Kingdom has the title of the Kingdom of Estonia, and the de jure capital is the County of Reval, which we actually control. So I don't know what that means. This duchy, I guess those claims just overlap. So eventually when the Kingdom of Estonia becomes a kingdom again, their de jure capital is going to be within the Duchy of Estonia, which is now part of Finland. So I think in some ways there's this weird kind of flow chart where Estonia its de jure capital is actually technically de jure part of the Kingdom of Finland now. So I don't know what's going to happen in that kind of interesting scenario here. Now, in terms of the separate counties, it gets kind of difficult to look at the different duchies. If we take a look at the duchy realm map, Novgorod, there's a lot of duchies here that are de jure now part of Gaivash. Now, if we zoom in a little bit, we have a few vassals here. We just created the Duchy of Courland recently, so now that takes a little bit of that admin off of our back, and they are able to control that and offer us more taxes. So we have a few, our biggest vassals are King Mielita, who is my husband, who controls the Duchy of Estonia. And we also have a couple of people here. Now this is kind of tricky because the mouse just kind of zooms in and out. Court Chaplain Viggo of Finland, he controls the Duchy of Karelia. And then we also have Count Egil Ranvaldsson of Dagbergslagen. Dagbergslagen is part of Sweden. So it's interesting that he has that much power. We have another couple of dukes here. Duke Olavi of Pohjanmaa, who's now imprisoned by whom, I don't know. And we also have, actually, let's take a look at that. He is imprisoned by Duke Lito of HoI4. HoI4 is up here, which is part of the Kingdom of Gaivash. Now, I'm just waiting for Gaivash to kind of fall apart. He is old. Now, his immediate heir, his primary heir, is Prince Lagon of the Gaivash Kingdom. He is in Vologda, so I'm not sure what he's going to get. He's going to get all these pressed claims here. Now, whether or not those all of these territories remain part of Gaivash is yet to be seen. We are in a pretty good place right now with our domain taxes, our vassal taxes. We have a lot of prestige. We don't really have anything to do with that prestige. Now, we have Mieliti Virtanen Kalavan. Who do we want to marry him off to? We have the ability to kind of set him up. Now, if we look at our alliance power, we want him to still have a lot of children. So, Chiefess Ilana Gilol's daughter of Shetland is too old for children. Lady Edgifu Botolf daughter of Anglesey. That's a pretty good... and the Lordship of Anglesey, that would give us a claim here to Anglesey in Wales, or what we know as Wales. So, that could be theoretically, you know, that could be a good alliance here. Now, Countess Oshild, Jorsdottir of Gudbrandsdalir, they would be born at the Countess Oshild's dynasty. So if we use patrilineal marriage, let's use a regular marriage, because we want these to be these heirs to be born into our house of Virtanen Kalavan, not her house of Gudbrandsdalir. That's relatively decent. They're very weak though. So these are the, if we go by alliance power, we can't really ally with anybody who's that powerful. And she's 11, so this is, you know, we want somebody kind of close in age so they can start popping out kids. Countess Amu of Minsk. This is my vassal with the county of Minsk, and they also have a claim on the county of Volkovisk and Novgrudok. She's a giant. She has some kind of not so great personality traits. Duchess Jarava, she's 34. Kanyuva. So we want to look to marry him off to somebody who's similar in age, if not a little bit younger. Betten Ishnaldruva. Now, if we take a look at, let's take a look at some of their congenital traits. I don't know if we can do that. We can go by specific traits, but generally no. So if we take a look here, if we want to look at, say, prestige gain, Iyabo Osakano. Oh, this is in Africa, part of the Berber group. Nasti Virtanen Koteyoki, so that's another Virtanen. Salme Virtanen Kalavan, but I think Virtanen Koteyoki won't be inbred because we're separate house branches right here. He's going to get a big kind of boost, and she's intimidated. She's okay. I mean, granted, she's 11, so she's pensive, shy, and patient. If we take a look here for, let's say, rank, this is something I usually don't do. So we have duchesses here, the Mari band of Martuba. They're a little bit older. Countess Oshild Jarlsdottir of Gudbrandsdalir. This would actually be a good match. She's actually really good at intrigue as well, so that wouldn't necessarily be bad. It'd be good to have somebody who has a high learning skill. Galia, or just kind of somebody who's strong across the board. This is something else we're looking for right now. Everybody's a little bit older, obviously. That makes a lot more sense if you look at certain traits, because obviously the older you are, the better those traits are developed. So if we look at the sum of all skills, Countess Amu of Minsk is pretty good. Ekaterina Ranvig Auni Lahtinen, so she's finished, and she's a marshal. She's 23, zealous, honest, and brave. It's actually not a bad combo, and she's also well learned. She doesn't have any intrigue skill though, but she does have a strong martial background. She's a little bit older. She's 23, so by the time they get married, I mean, they can still definitely have children. That's not a big deal. And she's also reforms from Minusco, so that's another plus. Now he's going to be the next in line. So the thing is that maybe we can do some alliances, but we can also keep our. He will be the heir after the heir, everything else being considered. So that should be okay. We don't have any good traits to kind of breed into the family line through her. Trying to look for that because that's something that we have. We have some renown to use. That kind of passes some of these on. Imena Vaiga. Okay, so she's intelligent, but she has a couple of other things. Spindly and Lover's Pox. So that's kind of it's a mixed bag there. She's brave and she's just. And she has a good spread of traits here, right? So that's another thing. And they're closer in age. She'll have to wait a few years for them to get married. But I'm not a huge fan of Spindly and Lover's Pox getting passed on through the family line. So maybe not. All that Merets Dotter Ernaby. So that's a good match of traits. She's trusting, just, and content. So those are all nice things. She's Norse. She has a good kind of uniform set of abilities here. She is a Satru, but she could pass on quick. So that could also be a good thing. She's 25, so a little bit older, but not super old. And actually, it's not. It'll be problematic if they have too many kids, right? So we've learned this. So maybe that's actually a good house to marry into now that she doesn't have a claim. I wish there's a way to kind of bookmark these to go into it later. So Merta Loflesdotter Jutta, gregarious, callous, generous. So she also has a good kind of spread of traits. It's actually a little bit more even than this, but she doesn't have a strong stewardship skill. I don't know what his stewardship skill is. It's not great either. He is very learned. So if we can get another learned spouse, that would actually help a lot in terms of progressing some of the innovations. That's something I was thinking about longer term. If we want to get a technological advantage, we'd want to do that. So Edith Sighem Dotter of Northampton, she doesn't have any claims, but she's sadistic, paranoid, and content. Now, she's learned, and she also has a strong intrigue skill, so that would actually be very helpful as well. Okay, so lots of choices here. Countess Amuv Minsk, she's pretty well, she has a bunch of traits, but some of her personality traits aren't super great. Noidi Semyamka of Chadra, she's Permian, trusting, callous, and craven, but she has a high learning skill. Maybe, let's go, okay, so I'm leaning towards Agnes, Edith, it's probably Edith. Edith Sighelm Dotter of Northampton. She has a good set of traits, except for the sadistic bit, but, can use hostile schemes against their own children. So that actually might be a little helpful. And she's good at intrigue, and I think, especially if we're going to have one primary heir, it would be good to have a good intrigue skill. She is relatively learned. She's not dumb. But she's also not the best in terms of that skill, but she is relatively young, so who knows, that might also increase. And Imena Vaiga, she has a bunch of these traits I don't necessarily want to have passed down. So that, I think, this is a pretty good kind of middle ground. We're not going to marry into a royal house. We're not going to have a bunch of alliances, but he does have a bunch of siblings, so we can start doing that. And they're close in age, and that's another kind of good thing if we want to have kids. Who knows, right? That's always kind of a shot in the dark. She's a little weak with everything else, but we have counselors for that, right? The learning skill is great because we get to discover things faster. But maybe we want somebody else to balance him out. He's already pretty strong with learning, so maybe somebody who has maybe a stewardship skill or martial skill. Oh, this is good. Vidyava Muradid. She's Permian, she's old Simunusco, but she's greedy, she's temperate, and diligent. So this might actually also be good. She has a really strong set of skills here in terms of stewardship. I do like... Who is the person who had the really strong intrigue skill? Noidi Semyanka. She's also learned, and she's intelligent. So this is the thing. She's a little older. But she has a strong intrigue skill. Strong-ish. But she's also very learned, so she helps out with that. That actually might help. So it's between her and Auni. Auni Latinen has no intrigue, so that's not great because he doesn't have very much intrigue. But she's very martial, so that could also help. And she's a little bit younger. I think let's just say no ID Sebyanka, because they can be brilliant or intelligent. So that's going to be a good boost here. So I think I'm going to go with her. No ID Sebyanka of Chadra. Good even distribution of her traits. This is a trait we want to breed in. So let's say no ID, and so he gets a little bit of a prestige ding because of that. Spineless villain, huh? Well, but they are now inheritable. The inheritable traits are intelligent and quick, so that's a good thing. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's say send the proposal, because he is already quick, right? So that's a good thing. Now there is a bunch of siblings here. Now who do we want alliances with? Talviki, Virten, and Kalavan. How about alliance power? Count Tomo Sisma. Sisma is our kind of part of our holdings already. Count Henri of Carnave. Count Uko of Leaves. Some of these alliances are obviously pretty weak. The County of Sismath. Oh, okay, they're at war. But his jailer is in... Oh my goodness. Why is everybody imprisoned by somebody else? There's a bunch of stuff going on here. Now, I thought we increased our crown authority to the point where they couldn't go to war with each other anymore. Oh, it is. Oh no. Okay, yeah. So, technically... all these wars were going on beforehand. A shameful truth has reached the light of day. My vassal Count Egil has an affair with Talvige Laina. I don't care. I don't know. Maybe in other situations those are way more important, but I don't see anything that's happening there. Oh no. Oh. Oh, sad face. I guess she can marry again. Okay, so we have a feast to go to. Powerful vassals expect council positions. None of them are particularly strong in any of these areas, at least not to the point where we can replace whoever we have. Mutual spirits. Okay, cool. Countess Stefana gains 15 affinity for 10 years. Heir in line. First in line for the County of Osad and Narva. Okay, so this title, the Duchy of Estonia, who did this pass to? Now this passed to Duke Johannes. Okay, the dilemma, a subject that fascinates me as well. Yeah, Countess Stefana, sure. Let's talk about friendship. So now Duke Johannes has inherited the Duchy of Estonia. Now later on, that will be part of his inheritance. Please go on. This seems to be a pretty good... I mean, I'm kind of powering through all these. So she loses some stress. She's gained a friend, it seems, in Countess Stefana, who is very learned. She's extremely well learned. And her husband looks to be pretty young. He's what, 14? Betrothed, and she's 43. Go you. Convert to witchcraft. I don't even know. We should probably take a look at who we can convert to witchcraft, who is actually Virtanen, House Virtanen. You can vassalize Count Turo. Okay, so this hasn't popped up. A neighboring ruler, Count Turo of Rasenia, wishes for your protection and would accept vassalization. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So, he's a neighboring ruler. Okay, so when did he become independent? Let's take a look at this. Rasenia. Oh, I think Rasenia was technically part of Estonia. And we took Memel and Skolovia because our former wars with the Kingdom of Estonia took back Skolovia and Memel when they were conquered by the Feriar, the Faroe Islands. So I guess, yeah, let's just vassalize him. Perfect. Now he'll be able to... Okay, so now, as we can see here, fantastic. So now he is technically part of the Duchy of Samogita, which has... It was, and now is not. So we'll have to reestablish that. Okay, let's get remarried. Obviously, our goal is not to have children necessarily, but we can marry into Erki Virtanen's house. We just need somebody who has the sum of all skills, and that way they'll be able to help us out. Oh. No. Just clicked on that way too fast. So, sum of all skills, Otkeri von Franken, my marshal and champion. He's Franconian and Catholic, stubborn, ambitious, and brave. Sure, I mean, it's mostly his martial skill. How about Court Chaplain Ukko? This is a good sum of skills right here. And there won't be any marriage chances, but that's okay. Send proposal. Perfect. Ah, my acquaintance, Ukko. Okay. Countess Stefania Sviacia. So, like, that actually worked. It's kind of interesting. So, Mialite, let's, we can... Oh, wait, we can't make him... Wait, is he not... Oh, he is reformed. Oh, he already is a witch. Okay. Theoretically, I think we can take on a couple of people. Okay. Duchess Yara. Okay, cool, yes. 50 gold, I'll take it. Thank you. Duke Olavi of Pohjanmaa. Now, he's of House Virtanen Kalevan. I'm not going to take that away from him. Paavo Virtanen Kalevan. I want to take these territories back. Let's be honest. I want Nyland, I want Tavas, but I can't push a claim here. I technically have a claim, but I would have to take it away from Duke Olavi. Now, he's plus 100, right? So the thing is that I could probably take one of those titles away. Retract Vassal. Here we go. I didn't even know this thing existed. I could have just done this the entire time. Okay. Retract Vassal. This was one of those menus in a menu that I didn't know. Now we have Retract Vassal, which, to be clear, we have because of the fact that we have level 3 Crown Authority, I'm pretty sure. Oh, we actually could have done that with Crown Authority too. Didn't know this. I could have just pulled these things away from him. He's already in prison. He's my vassal. He likes me. Received County. What did I give to him? Anyway. This is... Yeah, I'm not worried about that at all. So if we retract Vassal... Aha! I'm going to take Nyland, thank you. He will accept 100%. This is an act of tyranny causing all subjects to lose 5 opinion. That's fine. Gain 65 stress because you were just... no. I'm going to take that, thank you. Becomes my vassal. Fine. Okay, perfect. Now, Countess... Okay, Ilta. Wait, what happened to... Oh, no. Okay, fine. It was just a weird bug. Now I want this for myself. Revoke title. And then I don't... it doesn't look like I'm gaining any stress because... I have a claim on the title. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's pause. I had formed a claim on the title from before. So I lost some prestige, about 150, or renown. So I did that to claim this title. That was years and years ago, but I haven't done anything about it because I didn't know exactly how to go about it. So now I revoked the vassal from the Duke. Now I have a claim. She loses 80 opinion on me. I don't really care. I don't even know who this person is. She has a lot of modifiers. The control level will change by 30, but then it becomes my county. And if she declines, she starts a war against me. Loses 40 opinion to me. Loses 80 opinion to me for 10 years. Lose 20 opinion of Countess Ilta for 10. She might accept. We're going to go to war for it, but that's fine. Obviously. We're going to take that back. Sorry, I know, it's unjust. Oh no, Vigu! War declared. Okay. And let's just recruit all of our armies here. Now, before we do this, let's make sure our champions don't include my son and future heir, because that would be bad. It looks like everything's fine. Herta Turo Ukosum Ianka Nahko Oni Tartu. Okay. Oh, actually, he has his own court now, so he's already in Estonia. So don't have to worry about that. Comfort of a friend. Oh, cool. Lose 84 stress. Thank you. Okay, you can call in your ally Duke Darvislava. Take consort. You can lawfully imprison Countess Ilta. She's already imprisoned. I mean, maybe not imprisoned, but thick as thieves. As of late, I often see my son and heir Duke Johannes and my cousin Duchess Lauha around the castle, deep in conversation. They truly seem to have found common ground. They cannot be up to any good. This ends now. Nah, that's fine. So, what are you talking about? Oh, this is probably going to end, but this is probably going to be a negative result, but I don't know. Whatever. Oh, actually, they gained... That actually succeeded, so 10 opinion of me. That's great. I did not expect that to happen. The county of Bornholm was given rise to the Danish Reformshumanusko populists. What? Okay, cool. So Stefana becomes a new novice. Who else? Okay, here's the thing. We can look here in our dynasty and see who else might be open. Stop moving. Okay. Who is... Now, I don't know if it has to be Virtanen Kalevan or Virtanen. So we take this out. Let's see. Stop. Close it. Close the menu. It's not the right map. Okay. So if we take this decision, found a witch coven, it has to be house head. At least 60% of adult house members. So, has a witch secret known by you. Ah. Finland is under siege. Okay, yeah. Good luck with that, but that's the end of the war. Thank you very much. Enforce demands. I mean, theoretically speaking, if she's going to be cool with it, I could just release her. I don't really have any... Yeah, there we go. Oh, who is this? Sigrid Sigurdsdóttir Itkonen. Who is this? 100 gold. Huh. Okay. Yes, I will take that. Thank you. Now, I don't know if we need to use this renown or if it keeps going. I think this is one of those things that keeps going throughout the family. I don't think we'd lose that if we didn't lose it right now, or if we didn't use it right now. Okay, good. So new land is ours now. Wait. Why did I go to war with her? I wanted this for myself. Oh my goodness, that was a mess. That was a mistake. What did we do that for? We lost? Okay, well, I guess we won some money, but at the same time, it's not my territory. What the... Okay, I thought if we went to war with her, we would just take it. She was already my vassal. Why did I go to war with her? I wanted to take that. I wanted to retract it from her. Hold on. What? No, I want to just take the whole title, revoke title. Okay, inappropriate exchange. Dalviki seem to enjoy our latest feast immensely. Okay, let her be lustful. I have a claim on the title, allowing me to revoke it without being viewed as a tyrant. I concede a title revocation reason on Countess Ilta. Gets a pressed claim on the County of Newland, loses 80 opinion to me for 10 years, grows closer to forming a rivalry. But then, don't I just... I don't know what I did. I thought I would take this from her. I won that war. I revoked the title. I want to take that for myself. I don't know why she got it back. What? That makes no sense. Okay, well, I'm going to do this again, oddly enough. And hopefully this will work the second time? What? Okay, yeah, I don't know. That was weird. I really thought that would just automatically become my... Okay. War against the tyranny of Queen Ilmatar. Rally the troops. Let's do this again. We'll raise all of this here. This really should have been my territory. I have no idea what just happened. Okay, great. Now I have somebody else who joined the war. Perfect. Fantastic. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and capture this again. And honestly, I thought this was supposed to be my territory. I took it away from her. I took away her title. I don't get it. I really don't understand what happened here. I really don't. Sincerely have no clue what just happened. We won the war. I claimed the title. I went to war to claim the title back from her to revoke it. She didn't want to give it up. I won the war. And yet she's still my vassal? What? That makes no sense. Okay, hopefully we'll be able to figure it out. Okay, we have a bunch of prisoners. Let's go ahead and ransom some of them and get some money here. Ruto Lisva, who's this? Imprisoned for 7 years. Cannot be ransomed for 10 gold. Why? She will not... Unimportant courtier. How about demand conversion? Okay, that's fine. Who is Eirik? I don't know who this person is. I don't know why he's in prison, but let's just demand conversion. Ah, that's right. Because he doesn't want to convert. And just release him. I don't really care. And I don't know who Bo is. Did he rebel or something? I just don't want to let somebody out. I think he might have. No, I don't even know. I don't know who this guy is. He has a lot of gold, though. How does he keep still having... How does he have gold? Okay, well... I forgot. It's been too long. I don't know what we imprisoned him for. Sure, go away. I guess what we should do is kind of pin those characters. But, okay. Here we go. Sanctioned loopholes. You can use by-claim interaction. What is this? Allows a character to buy unpressed claims in exchange for piety. Cool. We can lawfully imprison Countess Ilta. Obviously. Yeah, what? No, I don't... Titles can be created. Now we have a bunch of tiles that we can create. I think we're going to use our gold to do that. Duchy of Lithuania, Livonia, we'll do that after this war is over, so we can keep everything kind of straight. Who is part of our dynasty? Vepsian Ban of Kivrola. Count Ailiud of Ioniga and Vepsian Band of Kargopol. Ilmatar. Oh, she's good. Look at her. Still going strong. Okay, so we should be able to just take this. We have a bunch of prestige. I don't even know what to do with it, honestly. And we have a bunch of piety here. I don't know if we want to reform the religion. We can do the consecrate bloodline thing. Okay, so now let's pause here. Let's save the game and make sure that we're doing exactly what we want to be doing, because I think this is one of those things where it's fair to save scum Nuland. I mean, I don't know. We'll take a look. What does this do? Okay, so now if we do this, we imprison Countess Ilta. Okay. Okay, there we go. And now that's my territory-ish? Wait. I want this to be part of my domain. That's my thing. Do I have to press the claim? I don't get it. I already have... Okay, I already have an... Okay, so... They become pressed if they are used in the cause of spell to declare war. Revoke title, which I already did. She will accept. Okay, here we go. Because she's imprisoned. So I now... Okay, let's see what happens here. Now, I've won the war. She rebelled. I suppressed that rebellion. I took the territory. She's in the dungeon. Or she's in house arrest. I have a claim on the title. Now, can I revoke it without... I can revoke it without being viewed as a tyrant. She will accept. Okay, let's revoke the title. Let's see what happens. There we go. Now it's mine. Perfect. That's what I wanted to... What the... That took way too much... Yeah, that was slightly confusing. Not slightly. Actually, very confusing. Okay, so now this is part of my personal domain. That's what it is. Okay, good. That's what I wanted. I know that sucks, but, you know, whatever. There's no... is there somebody in the prison who I can just kind of give money to and be like, hey, sorry? I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm the queen. I can do whatever I want. But, okay, let's take a look here. I think, how about consecrate bloodline? Level of devotion is 5 or above. Oh, I don't know. We're not going to get to that point. Found a new empire. Strength and bloodline. Found a holy order. You have a barony with a city or a castle that can be leased out as the holy order's headquarters. Let's save up to 500 gold and see if we could do that. Oh, okay, well, we have to build a temple somewhere else, right? Let's write thoughts down here. Seclude yourself. She's pretty stressed out. She's not that stressed out, but I mean, why not? I've given the servants orders to not let anyone disturb me no matter what happens, and as my shoulders relax, I know that this is exactly what I needed. Truly at peace. I want to found the Holy Order, but we have to build a temple here. So I think that's what we'll do. Because here we go, in the county of Finland, we can have one of each, right? There's only 3 holdings. So we can build a new temple holding here. And then, after that, we can build a new city holding in Rauma. And we have the castle holding in Turku. So I'm going to hold on to that so we can build a temple. Oh, but is it more important to build a temple or create these duchies? These can be created later. Mialite. Wait, he's not... Oh, wait, that's my grandson. I was like, isn't he already betrothed to somebody? I thought we figured that out. Wheezing. Oh no, congenital. Let's see. Oh, let's keep the game going. Duchess Auriuna. No, let's see. Is there anybody who has a trait intelligent that can pass on? Siamka Irtigid, but she's 5. I mean, we're not in a rush, right? Spouse's skills. Oh, architectural expertise. Very nice. Siamka Irtigid. I mean, she's already smart and she's only 5, so let's go ahead and do that. And she's an obscure house, so he'll take a little bit of a ding on that, but that's fine. The age of the world. However, my Count Chaplain Ottawa urges me to keep it to myself. Leave it to the elders and avoid panic. What if your calculations are wrong? Let's see. A reasonable point, Ottawa. There we go. And I gain more piety. I mean, I guess I don't really need too much piety right now. We could reform the religion yet again. I don't see there's no real reason to do that. Let's see. I should consult with more shamans. Let's say 100. There we go. Matrilineal. No. House Virten and Caravan. Chance of children, none. Why? Huh. Okay, see, this part I don't get. Why is it none? How about bright? Smart. Age of knowing. Okay, so let's make her a witch. Yes. Genius. Nope, no geniuses. Bright. Smart. Clever. No, it's not clever. It's... What's the trait called again? Her father has it. Or his father. Wait, Jaska Zeszwupska. Oh, that's not... Oh, that's Lovisa's son. Goodness. Okay, so now we can build a temple here. Load county controller knew that. That's right. Let's assign our marshal to... He is very good. Manage domain. No, assist ruler. There we go. This is exciting. Get to build a new holding. This will be the first holding I can build. I don't even know what a shrine does, honestly. I don't even know if it's worth it. But we could then build a city afterwards, and that'll increase our, our income from here. So let's say save game. Now we've figured out how to take a vassal away. So let's see, shrine building. Construct new holding, temple, perfect. Awesome, that's fun. Okay, now what can we do with this? Can we reform the religion? I mean, technically we can, right? Is there anything we want to reform, though? Because it's totally fine the way that it is. I honestly don't feel like there's anything else that I want to change. Communal identity. Okay, so change the culture first and then change the religion. So that's how the communal identity bit works. Convergence between counties of a different culture. So if we change the culture, it's going to be a plus 50. Ancestor worship, prestige of level, from level of splendor. Again, prestige is one of those things I was just like, I don't quite know if this is a good tenet to have in terms of in-game stuff. The communal identities, it helps to convert. Sanctity of nature, attrition and advantage in jungle, forest, and taiga, which works for us because we do a lot of our fighting in the forest and in the taiga. So this is, we'll keep the sanctity of nature. Building construction gold cost is increased though, and popular opinion is +5. So I think they kind of balance out. I don't think we can change holy sites, but let's take a look at ancestor. Let's see what we have available for ancestor worship. Adaptive, county conversion resistance +30%. Increased naval speed, carnal exaltation, makes lustful a virtue, makes chaste a sin. Christian syncretism. Oh, what's happening? Mystical knowledge, speaking of religion. I wonder what happens if I imitate their practices. What do other texts say? Let's keep learning here. Eastern syncretism. Esotericism? Children with a learning... Okay. Mystical knowledge. I seem to have stumbled across something remarkable. This is teaching me about my faith. Increase my learning by 1. Yeah, there we go. Increase learning by 1. 1 learning lifestyle perk unlock. And then now we are a scholar. What is this? Learning +5. Nice. Development growth is faster. That's great. Okay. Esotericism. Children with a learning education focus may gain the wise man trait if they do well at their studies. Makes the following traits virtues: wise woman, mystic, and miracle worker. Reforms from Windows Go opinion +10, piety +1 a month. See, we can't reform this. Oh, actually, wait. Reform... Wait, oh, no, this is creating a new... Okay, let's pause. So here's the thing. This is actually really cheap. Undiscounted doctrine cost is 4,400 from current for reserve percent. Profit, minus 50% because she's a prophet. So we now have a bunch of piety. It's going to be really cheap for us if we want to keep these... here's the really cool part. We're still building on Sumanuskal. So we have these main doctrines: equal on gender, pluralist religious attitude, lay clergy, etc., etc. Same-sex relations accepted, clerical function recruitment. We're going to keep communal identity and the sanctity of nature, but we can change esotericism, and this is only going to cost 2,200, right? Which is super cheap. We'll keep everything else. Your old faith will consider you astray, but that's fine. Let's keep taking a look here. I like playing with this whole religion thing. I think this is a huge boost. Children with the learning education focus may gain the wise man trait if they do well at their studies. Makes wise woman, mystic, and miracle worker all virtues with the following effects. Reforms Humanusko opinion, or whatever the religion's name is going to be at that point. And increased piety. So this is interesting, because then we can keep reforming the religion if we want to. It'll be easier. Gnosticism considers other Gnostic faiths to be righteous instead of hostile or evil. Giving away tiles relieves a proportional amount of stress. Okay, so I guess it's kind of like you don't want to necessarily be of the world, right? You're just in it. Makes temperate a virtue. Makes gluttonous a sin. All reforms to Minusko. Stewardship -2, learning +2. So, makes it a little bit harder to be a regular ruler. Hedonistic. Hosting a feast earns piety, makes gluttonous a virtue, makes temperate a sin, and then stress loss is reduced. Huh. But if you're temperate, it's -2. That's hard. Human sacrifice. Okay, this is... Grants rage for captives, causes belly against neighboring realms. Oh, goodness. That's rough. Okay. Islamic syncretism, Jewish syncretism. I don't know what hostile means. Okay. Intermarriage may still happen. Holy wars can be waged. Character opinion, popular opinion, can start great holy wars against them, cannot usurp their titles, can use holy orders against them. Ah, okay, so that's what a holy order will do. We'll use against evil or hostile religions. Legalism. Reduce law costs by 10% for each virtue a ruler has. Okay. Increase law costs by 10% for each sin a ruler has. Vassals and counties are less likely to join factions against a virtuous ruler. Okay. They're more likely to join against a sinful ruler. Okay, that's the tricky bit. Electors under elective succession types are more likely to vote for their choice of their liege if their liege is just. Makes just a virtue and makes arbitrary a sin. That's already a sin, and just is already a virtue. So that's kind of already kind of playing to our strengths. But the piety plus and minus are greater. It's going to be +2, -2. Reduce law costs by 10%. Now we don't really pass that many laws, right? Those are the kind of inheritance laws and succession laws. Mendicant preachers, county conversion spree. Now this is interesting. +33. That's nice. So we can spread the faith, right? Characters of this faith gain an additional bonus upon the successful completion of a pilgrimage, which is something we already have. Makes temperate a virtue and gluttonous a sin. That's the same. And so that doesn't really do anything else, except for the fact that it makes it easier and faster to convert a county. Not bad. There's a lot of different things here. They're just so interesting. Monasticism. Courtiers can take the vows and become a monk. What is a monk? Piety 0.3. May not inherit titles or marry. Not as interesting as I think it would be. Pacifism. Cannot declare holy wars or raid. Nope, not necessarily. Polyamory. Adherents do not receive opinion penalties or imprisonment reasons on their spouse or spouse's lovers for having extramarital relationships. We already kind of allow that. Pursuit of power. Rulers have a conquest causus belli against neighboring rulers. Prestigious rulers can use an invasion causus belli once per lifetime. Okay. Makes ambitious a virtue and content a sin. Now I don't want that. But there's decreased tyranny gain and a decreased title creation cost. So that's kind of that's huge. Reincarnation. County conversion resistance +20%. So when it says conversion resistance, is that from other religions or from my own religion? I'm thinking maybe other religion. Children have a chance of being considered as the reincarnation of an ancestor, giving bonuses to piety and opinion. That's interesting. Religious law. Rulers with high learning may condemn their sinful vassals. The more sinful a vassal is, the less learning the ruler needs to condemn them. Interesting. Condemned vassals are seen as criminals and may have their titles revoked, and law costs are -10%. Interesting. High learning may condemn their sinful vassals. That would make it easier to take things away, right? Ritual cannibalism. Oh, goodness. Cannibal is no longer considered criminal, and cannibal is now a virtue. Ritual celebrations. Hosting a feast earns piety. Vassals are more likely to attend your feasts. Those who still refuse to come will lose piety for doing so. We don't really host feasts all that often. And there's a lot of intrigue and kind of unknowns that happen from there. But you also get some good boosts. So, Ritual hospitality. Rulers can host other characters as an honored guest, spending piety in exchange for increased opinion. Makes generous a virtue and callous a sin. Piety per powerful vassal on the council +0.3 a month. Sacred lies. Interesting. Makes deceitful a virtue and honest a sin. You earn piety for completing intrigue schemes. Interesting. Sanctioned false conversions. Conversion resistance +30%. Characters and counties may sometimes reconvert back to this faith if led astray. Interesting. Sky burials. Rulers can give their ancestors a sky burial, gaining piety and pleasing their vassals. Disease resistance, small boost. Interesting. Tax non-believers. Okay. All reforms from UNESCO. Domain taxes are increased. Levy reinforcement rate of the same faith increased. I mean, that's an interesting one. Unrelenting faith. Members of the clergy can serve as commanders or champions. All reforms from UNESCO. Prowess +4. Faith hostility advantage +2. Vows of poverty. Rulers can decide to make a vow of poverty, reducing monthly tax income but increasing monthly piety gain. Warmonger at peace opinion instead of offensive war opinion. Rulers have a conquest causus belli against neighboring rulers. Prestigious rulers can use an invasion causus belli once per lifetime. So invasion, I guess, replaces the subjugation one. If one exists, the head of faith can declare great holy wars, provided this faith is organized. Okay. Members of the clergy can serve as commanders or champions. Honestly, out of all of these, I think esotericism sounds like one of the more interesting ones. learning education focus may gain the wise man trait. So these are virtues: wise woman, mystic, and miracle worker. So these are kind of small changes here. But there's an increased piety of +1 per month if you control any of these. Learning education focus. Ah! All children between ages 6 and 9 can be given an education focus geared toward one of the 5 skills. Education ends with an education trait upon reaching adulthood. This is what I was just talking about. I like having a high learning. So this actually would work, because then you can... number one, I didn't know you can choose that. I thought it was just kind of randomized. Ends with an education trait upon reaching adulthood. So children with a learning education focus may gain the wise man trait if they do well at their studies. So wise man would be +1 learning. And then wise woman, mystic, and miracle worker are all virtues, with +1 piety. See, this seems to be a very, very kind of narrow application of something, but I don't mind it. Sanctity of nature. Oh, okay, so it's from all of these. I thought it was just those two. Okay, mendicant preachers. I kind of like this. Construction, gold, oh, but this is, yeah. The +10 is kind of painful. Popular opinion, attrition taken in jungle, and forest, and taiga. So this is actually really helpful. The attrition buffs. Nah, we're going to keep that. So we're just going to change esotericism. Communal identity I like. Everything else. How about deviancy? Let's just accept that. Say accepted. I just want to make it easy, right? So all of these things are accepted. We're esoteric, sanctity of nature, communal identity, always allowed. How about head of faith? Since we have so much piety, why don't we... What is this? Okay, we have a spiritual head of faith and a temporal head of faith. The position of head of faith is given to the founder of the faith and is passed on to their primary heir when they die. Okay, so this is kind of like Henry VIII, ish. Right, he's not technically the head of faith, but he appointed the, Archbishop of Canterbury. So, if the faith has great holy wars, the head of faith is allowed to be redirected war and choose who the war target will be. The position of head of faith is given to the founder of the faith and passed on to their primary heir when they die. Okay, so this stays within the kingdom, right? It stays within the dynasty. Former leader of a faith, the powers and nature of the head of faith depends on the doctrines of the faith. Some faiths have a spiritual head, and some have a temporal head, and some do not have one at all. I don't know what that does. Yeah, I don't know if temporal head of faith is given to the head of the faith. Okay, so the spiritual head of faith is given to a prominent clergy member. The head of faith can grant claims on land and titles to pious adherents. Okay, so that's one advantage of that. The head of faith can grant gold to pious adherents. I don't know what the temporal head of faith would be. Abolish church holdings. Our temples under the control of a realm priest. Now that I don't like. I want to be able to directly control all of that. In faiths with lay clergy doctrine, there are no church holdings. And temples can be directly held by the secular rulers without penalty. So that's exactly what I want. So lay clergy. And I can be the temporal head of faith. Acts much like a normal ruler, with the head of faith tile being destroyed should they lose their land. Okay. Should the doctrines of the faith allow for great holy wars, they will be directed. A Great Holy War is a special type of war only the head of faith of certain faiths can declare with the goal of bringing an entire kingdom under the rule of their faith. Great Holy Wars target all rulers of another religion within a chosen kingdom, forcing them to defend together. If victorious, all titles within the targeted kingdom will be seized and divided between the attackers. Depending on its doctrines, a faith might have access to directed holy wars, undirected great holy wars, or no great holy wars at all. Okay, so let's see. Armed pilgrimages, struggle and submission, or warmonger tenets are required to access great holy wars in general. Okay, so we don't have armed pilgrimages or struggle and submission. What is this? If rulers, it costs rulers of the faith 20%, minus 20% less piety to declare holy wars. If one exists, the head of faith can declare a great holy war when the faith has high fervor. If no head of faith exists, adherents gain a bonus to convert faith and county counselor task as per controlled holy site. Ah! Characters of the faith gain an additional bonus upon the successful completion of a pilgrimage. Armed pilgrimages, huh. Struggle and submission. Piety and devotion from winning holy wars is increased by 50%. Characters of this faith, okay, there's a boost to completing pilgrimages. If no head of faith exists, adherents gain a bonus to the convert faith and county counselor task as per controlled holy site. If one exists, the head of faith can declare a great holy war when the faith has high fervor. Here we go. Faiths with a temporal head only have access to directed great holy wars. Faiths without a head of faith cannot declare any great holy wars, even if they would normally be eligible. Okay, so what is a directed Great Holy War? A directed Great Holy War is declared by a temporal head of faith with the intention of bringing a kingdom under their own rule. Rulers of their faith might choose to assist the head of faith and may get rewards for doing so. Rewards include piety and potentially having their dynasty become landed within the conquered kingdom. Rulers of the targeted religion may choose to defend against this war without the need for an alliance. Huh, okay. But armed pilgrimages is not here. I guess we can't do holy wars? Warmonger would let us do it. What is an at-peace opinion? Okay, so you're supposed to keep... Yeah, you're supposed to just kind of... keep expanding. I think this is okay. I kind of like... I mean, the head of faith thing doesn't really have anything... It doesn't have an effect unless we can do a holy war. Armed pilgrimages, which we don't have, struggle and submission, which we don't have, and warmonger. So I think warmonger is the only one available to us, for whatever reason. Unless, of course, it's one of the other ones that we have. So communal identity, can we change? No, this is not. It's not available to us. Carnal exaltation. Let's see. Makes lustful a virtue and makes chaste a sin. All reforms from Windows go plus 25% fertility. Communal identity. So this is kind of a... It's easier to promote culture and religion this way. Conversion speed is slower in a different culture, but it'll be... so if the faith spreads, it'll be easier to convert the culture first. And... conversion speed is plus 50%. Same faith offending plus 10. So yeah, we're going to keep that. We're going to keep that. I don't think we need a head of faith. This is kind of... I mean, we don't have holy wars, so we could just have none. And esotericism... What did we have here before? Ancestor worship. For the prestige boost. We've discovered that prestige isn't... I mean, you just get so much prestige anyway. So who would not convert? Duchess Lauha of Upland. What is she? Is she a Satru? No, she's reformed from Minusko. Huh. She wouldn't convert, huh? So let's save this and then create new Sumanusko.